Ready?
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1.
2, 1.
All right, folks, we are back 2 nights in a row. For anybody who happened to watch this last night, one, love you, buddy. Appreciate it. And we are going to go live on Facebook tonight, a couple other social media channels. If you feel like taking a look around, we're going to enjoy the glitch and the vortex like always. And it is Thursday night, 7:56 p.m. Eastern, live on the East Coast. This is John with Movie Killers Podcast, and I got Mark, my co-host, with me as always. Music ends.
Back-to-back episodes. This is the first time in our podcast history that this has happened. I don't know how to feel about that, but it just feels consistent.
It's like a cool version of Love Island. Can't really figure out how I fit into that, but that's how.
Yeah, I was a little bit of a reach, I think. Anyway, it's good to be back on such short. I mean, this was a quick turnaround for us, but nevertheless, we came prepared with pretty good material, and I think this one, like today's topic, is an outlier for us, right? This one is interesting. So I hope, in the end that we convey kind of the message, and then people have character arcs. This is kind of more of a career arc, and the fact that this actor is still somewhat young, right? He's got a lot of runway left. So, and once we talk about his background and you find out, I guess his origin story here, he's easy to root for. Like, he's a very down to earth guy. He's not like a Hollywood guy. He's a very, hometown type guy. Born and raised in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I agree. And let's, I don't think we need to hold back. We're going to go back into a little bit of our previous format, only because we went through all the numbers last night. Last night's person was Gal Gadot. So if you want to watch the Gal Gadot episode, you'll get all the latest numbers for what's going on in the world of movies. We covered it all last night. It doesn't make sense to hit it 2 nights in a row. So tonight we are going to focus on Glenn Thomas Powell Jr. That's a mouthful. Born in October 1988, the year I graduated high school, in Austin, Texas. Raised by Glenn Sr. and Cindy Powell, which I have to imagine, looking at Glenn, Cindy's probably a fairly attractive older woman at this point. And he's got a lot of really interesting facts about this guy. Like, we started looking at it, I was like, we could spend a whole show just talking about not so much the fact that he, we're going to debate his movie killer status, but this guy, he's, 35, 40 years old, 35 years old, whatever he is. And he's led a pretty interesting life.
I'm pretty sure he's still under 40, which makes it interesting because he's being touted as the next, look, there's never going to be a Tom Cruise, but they said he's very similar in his trajectory to the one and only Tom Cruise. And I was like, wow, that's a huge compliment, right? Considering his start. But maybe we get into that, right? Like his start in Hollywood, like he up and left, unless you want to talk about briefly his upbringing, his childhood. Like, he was an athlete. He played like 3 or 4 sports. And I was reading his bio that a lot of his classmates and his close friends growing up, they thought this guy's he's going to be an athlete, like a professional athlete. And then the interesting story that you told me earlier changed all that. But long story short, at 19, he up and moved to Hollywood to pursue an acting career.
Yeah, and one of the things that I thought was really interesting is you always wonder, like, what's a person's motivation, what gets them started. And there's a lot of movies, like Spielberg made the movie about his growing up and, how he used to make movies as a kid. But apparently when Glenn Powell was 5 years old, just to show everybody's age, his dad took him to see Jurassic Park, and he fell in love with the movie. And he said, you know what? This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. He got an old video camera from his parents at 5, and then growing up through there, started running around making his own home movies and said, this is what I want to do. And at 14, he got cast in Spy Kids 3D. His casting credit was Long Fingered Boy, which there's a bunch of those, which are very funny when you start reading through his bio. But he got cast in Robert Rodriguez's Spy Kids 3 at 14 and never really looked back. I mean, he's had a couple doubts in his life, and we're going to go through those. And some of the people that you all know pulled him out of the funk to keep him going and keep him motivated. Yeah, real interesting as we run through this and get him up to where he is today.
Yeah, you know what I thought it was interesting, and then I don't know if this is widely known, but I think what you were referencing is when he did back in 2007, he did a movie called The Great Debaters, and it, the star was, it's not Denzel, it's Denzel Washington. I only know this because I watched his his interview. I was like, okay, I'm going to remember that next time I have to pronounce your name. Yeah, but you also
say Gal Gadot, so you're
yes, I know, but I distinctly remember Denzel saying it's pronounced Denzel. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pronounce it properly. But anyway, it was Denzel that said, hey, there's a lot of potential. You could, if you pursue this full time, you could be a great actor. And at that time, he's a kid. But can you imagine, like, you're in a movie and like Denzel Washington's like, hey, you should pursue this. What are you going to do? You're going to pursue it, right? Like, this guy's, he was a legend then. And, I don't know. Like, do you think like maybe like Denzel's joking? I don't know. I'd be like, no, I'm going to take this guy pretty seriously. So that helped, kind of like the fire under Glenn Powell. And so him and his agent at the time, they kind of like had his back and they guided him early in his career. The sad part was when his agent passed away. I think it was right around like 2010-ish. He lost, not that he lost, he had lesser opportunities, and he's made reference to this in past interviews and articles and stuff like that. So, he was kind of guided and ushered along in his early career, but then as soon as his agent passed, like, it kind of dried up. So, but still, man, I mean, he could have easily quit, moved back to Austin, and got a regular 9 to 5, but he kept going. You got to tip your hat, man, and that's hard to do, right? Like, at that age, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would have the perseverance to do that, especially acting, right? That is such a, like, you have to be either like you're extremely talented, but you also have to be connected, and you almost have to get lucky to have the right personnel to back you.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see that as we run through that. He always seems to associate himself with a very positive group of people, that every time he starts having that doubt creep in, they give him a little pep talk, they give him some sort of incentive, and they pull him back in and they keep him going. So, I am not a religious person by any means, but I would say he's had a pretty blessed path where fate, whatever you want to call it, has always seemed to play a role in keeping him going and keeping him motivated. So
yeah. And here's another thing interesting that I read. So his agent's name was Ed Lamato, and in one of Ed Lamato's, I don't know if it was either an article or an interview, he had said that Powell reminded him of a young Richard Gere. So like, right? That's like, your agent is saying this, and then you got Denzel saying, yo, keep going, dude. Keep pursuing, young man. So, I think that helped, obviously that helped motivate Glenn, but still, I mean, you still got to put in the work. You still got to do the auditions. You still got to land the role, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. And the one thing that I thought was interesting is, as I'm going through the different pieces, like he's been in some pretty crazy movies, right? And if you look at his roles, I mean, he was in Dark Knight Rises. And when you go back and you watch Dark Knight Rises, this is one of the things that actually got him a lot of attention because Tom Hardy is playing Bane. Tom Hardy is an animal in this movie. And there's a scene where he takes an extra and smashes his face into the desk, into a keyboard. That really happened in the movie. And it got all this publicity because Tom Hardy literally broke this guy's nose who was the extra in the movie. That was Glenn Powell, right? So he comes in, and in The Dark Knight Rises, his role is traitor number one. He thinks he's going to get tossed around a little bit by Tom Hardy, and Tom Hardy smashes his face as a method actor. Yeah. Wow. In the Gotham Stock Exchange, he grabs this guy, smashes his face down on the computer keyboard, and then the traitor falls off to the side. Really broke his nose, and it was Glenn Powell getting this, one of his many bit part roles across his career in Dark Knight Rises. So you can pull it down on YouTube, go watch it. I pulled a bunch of clips. I should have pulled that one. I wasn't thinking, but if I can get it, I'll play it. But it's pretty funny to see.
Wow, that's very interesting. Did not know that at all.
Yep. And then I'm going to read just, and then if you haven't seen it, go watch. It's so dumb. It's called Everybody Wants Some.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible. Like, it's not good, but it's almost like a Caddyshack, Animal House, just ridiculous humor, funny movie.
Mm-hmm.
And to give you guys some things where I think Glenn Powell falls into the movie killer realm. The budget on this movie was $10 million, and his total revenue, and it was through Paramount, so it wasn't from a small studio, $4.6 million. So I think me and about 8 other people probably saw the movie, but it's if you just want dumb comedy, dumb fun to go watch something, watch Everybody Wants Some. It's from 2016. But I think his role in that was like good looking frat guy or something stupid, but it's worth watching.
Yeah. But I think, to be fair with Glenn, his career had essentially, it's like when you're playing golf, you have the front 9 and the back 9. Like his front 9, he was a supporting actor for close to 20 years. Like his career technically began in 2003, and then he has not played a leading role, which again makes him very unique in this. He's not on our list. He's not the first half of his career would put him on this list, but even then you can't even really grade him because he wasn't the leading man. He was just a supporting actor, right? So from 2003 up until Maverick came out, he was just a supporting role, like, very limited. So yes, he was in the movie. His ROI grade, because he was part of that cast, or, for those movies, he probably earned like a C plus D, in terms of ROI. But once he became that leading man after his, he burst on the scene in Top Gun, he's been like an A-lister, right? Like his ROI has just been pretty incredible, all things considered.
Yeah, and I can tell you this is why I love having you as my co-host on this show, because there's so many different things that we disagree on, and it makes the show to me so much more interesting, because then it's not the two of us going.
Let's hear it.
So he's John Glenn in Hidden Figures. John Glenn had a total of probably like 4 minutes on screen, right? Like he wasn't a major. He's a major component of Hidden Figures, but he is not a major point in the movie.
All right. Okay.
Figures, 25 million made 236 million. It was a huge return. It was a great movie that made a lot of money. He was a bit part in that. Like he wasn't a main role. So just like, Everybody Wants Some drove his ROI down, Hidden Figures drove his ROI up, not as
and you're right. And so this was time period wise for those that are not keeping track, but we're keeping track here. This was prior to Top Gun. So Hidden Figures came out, I forget what year, but basically the ROI was 9 point something X, right?
Yeah.
Because 236 million. Yeah.
And then to give you the counterpoint on that, he's in Running Man. He's the main guy after Maverick. 110 million, gross 69 million. So he is the main guy after Maverick. Pretty lame.
That is, yeah. No argument there. But my list ended before Running Man.
All right, so it doesn't count. We'll just take it off.
So you want to hear something interesting, right? So Top Gun.
Yes.
Dude, Top Gun Maverick had to be one of my most favorite movies. That was such a fun movie to watch because, with the history and waiting so many years for this damn movie to come out, right? It just, for me, it was I had high expectations, and the fact that it delivered on every aspect, that's what made me, gravitate towards it. I think I watched that movie like 10 times. Yeah. But anyway,
I'm with you.
So when they were preparing for the shoot and preparing for, casting, Powell spent a lot of time, preparing for a role. Like, he wasn't casted. So the role that he was going for was for Rooster. Yeah. And then when he got, so the other guy, I forget, what was his name? That got, who's Rooster?
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So when Miles got the role, he was just like, oh shit, right? Like, but then Tom Cruise, they liked him so much, him and the director, they said, hey, we can cast you as Hangman. But Glenn Powell was like, I don't know, because the script made Hangman to be this type of character. That's just not me. If you're asking me, I would change a couple things about Hangman as a character. And to his surprise, Tom Cruise was like, all right, let me hear what you got to say. And they incorporated that change in the character from its original script, kind of like depiction of Hangman. So they changed that really just to fit Glenn's request. So I thought that was cool, like for Tom Cruise. And he said that too. He was like, dude, I'm like a nobody. And Tom Cruise actually listened. Like, he listened to just not him, but the entire cast when, they gave some kind of healthy feedback. So I thought that was really cool. So that's how he became Hangman. Like, he originally was, I don't think he dismissed it. He was like, I'll do it, but can we make some changes? And they were like, okay, that makes sense. So kudos for him for speaking up, but also mad kudos to Tom Cruise for actually, acquiescing and say, all right, we can make this work if that gets it done and you sign on. But so they've been friends since, according to both of them.
The other thing I thought was cool in that is part of the paycheck was Tom Cruise taught Glenn Powell how to fly. Right. So when he convinced Glenn Powell to come back, he said, hey, in addition to that, this is all about flying. I've been flying forever. I can do anything. I'm Tom Cruise. Yes. And I'll teach you how to fly. So he took Glenn Powell aside, taught him how to fly, and got him his pilot's license, which I thought was pretty cool. Literally, go back to the Gal Gadot intro.
Mm-hmm.
He took him under his wing.
Wow.
How about that?
Wow. I didn't think you had anything left in the tank. But
I always got
that's good.
All right, hold on. I'm going to play you a clip. You ready?
Yeah.
It's a stock exchange.
Wait, I don't hear any audio.
All right, hold on.
It's a stock exchange. There's no money you can steal.
Really? And why are you people here?
See that? So He really smashed his face into the keyboard in real life and broke his face up.
Wow.
Yeah, badass. Tom Hardy's crazy.
Dude, he's the man. Tom Hardy. We gotta check his ROI. But I would say I'm guessing it's probably fairly positive. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
You know, another interesting factoid with the whole Top Gun Maverick as it relates to our boy Glenn here. So I don't know if you remember this, but there was a ton of production delays because of the pandemic, right? Like they did not want to release this, you know, via streaming. Like Tom Cruise was pretty adamant. He's like, no, if we're going to release this, it's going to be a theatrical release. So it was delayed from 2019 to 2022. I remember this. I was like, oh, shoot, like Top Gun's coming out. I was like all excited. And then it kept getting delayed. And then finally 2022 came around and here it goes. So the part that I thought was like very interesting, Glenn Powell said, I've never made any significant amount of money on a movie, including Top Gun. But he was at a point where he was dead broke, you know, because the delays and there was nothing else. He wasn't working. So he was like, yeah, my reserves was getting depleted fast. And he said something, I forget, but he said his accountant reached out and he was like, hey man, something to the effect like this pandemic can't last any longer. Like we don't have a lot of time left here because we're just running out of cash. So again, right? Like this guy's story, he just keeps going, man.
Yeah. And the funny thing is they say Maverick saved the movie industry, right? And Glenn Powell's part of that, which is pretty cool.
Well, how did they say it saved it though? Like I'm curious. Like,
because there was nothing in the theaters, and when the theaters first started opening back up, nobody was going. And then Maverick came out, and it just all the theaters got jam packed, and everybody started going back to the movies. So they're saying Maverick was that catalyst to start filling the theaters back up after COVID.
Yeah, and what was the final numbers? It was like over $1 billion, right?
Yeah,
1.4, basically 1.5 billion worldwide.
Yeah, 1.5 billion. Crazy. $170 million budget, which for that movie seems super low, right? You would think it would be higher than that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and they use real fighter planes because, you know, Tom Cruise is like, I'm not into this CGI nonsense.
Yeah. Real jets. All right. So I got another clip. Let's hear what Glenn Powell has to say about Hangman.
Who's going to be team leader? And which one of y'all has what it takes to follow me?
Let's go. Let's see what you got. Hangman's coming.
Hangman, he doesn't fly well with the team, sort of lives on the edge.
You put your team in danger.
They couldn't keep up.
He knows he's the best, and he's not here to make friends.
Damn it!
Makes you want to go see it. I might watch that tonight.
I might watch it again too. Yeah, he was awesome in that. Like and you know there was going to be like everybody was a hater, you know, and he wasn't a team player, but you always like foreshadow, right? Like he's going to come through in the clutch, right? Like he knew it was coming, just didn't know when. Yes, that was great.
All right. So that's what's going on with Mr. Powell. Let's see what else we got. So a couple other movies that he was in that I actually enjoyed. So he was in the movie with Sydney Sweeney. It was not Stuck in Love. No, I just had it. God damn it. I got too many sheets. Have I mentioned that we need an intern? Anyone But You. So Anyone But You is actually very entertaining. So
what was the release date on that?
2023. So you had Top Gun Maverick.
Yes.
Then you had a movie called Devotion, which I don't know what that is, but
Bombed.
It was 90 million, made 22 million. Anyone But You came out. Sydney Sweeney, which was a great role for her too, and got her like on everybody's radar again. 220 million. Then you had Hitman, which I'll show a clip from Hitman. I really struggled with it.
But I just want to stick to a time, like say the timeline here. Like, so his turning point, we agree, right? Obviously, Top Gun Maverick, 2022. Right after that, Anyone But You came out in 2023. To your point, the budget was 25 million, and it grossed 219. So 8.8 whatever ROI. That's healthy. Twister 2024. So the budget was 155. It grossed 372. 2.4x. Is that, it made money, right? But not a killing, but he's legit, right? If you're, dude, if you're making 372 on a movie, I think you're legit. And he was, for all intents and purposes, he was the leading man in that movie. And then you talked about Hitman. I think that came out in the same year. I think 2024, right?
You're so crushing on him. Like I'm
just doing the
2024. Yes,
the career arc. So Hitman, the budget, very, very low. I mean, this has
11 million. Yeah, $11 million.
Yes, 9 to 11 million. But it was the theatrical release was limited because it was a kind of a Netflix release.
Yeah, big Netflix. Okay, so then you got Twisters that came out. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's pull up Tyler Owens. You ready?
Yeah.
It's Tyler Owens. Calls himself Tornado Ring. If you feel it, said if you feel it, chase it.
Is that it?
Nope. Let's rock.
All right, here we go.
You know, our crew is not like your crew. Are better than the new.
Less on a t-shirt.
Yes, ma'am. Fear's the reason you do it. Erupt a tornado.
And deer, but in the field. We never had a chance.
You want one? You ride them.
Go faster.
Oh, she's perfect.
You ride them. You ever see anything like this?
Hold on.
All right, I take everything back that I said. He's a total movie killer. He's got Gal Gadot acting capability.
No way. Oh man. No way.
Dude, if you close your eyes and just listen to him deliver lines and don't look at how pretty he is like Gal Gadot, this is the perfect bookend of a week with Gal Gadot and him. Just close your eyes and listen to him.
I'm not listening to this. This is blasphemy. Dude, he is a capable actor. I mean, if you can go from getting your face smashed, right?
Yeah.
And then then you're going tornado hunting, and then you're a pilot, then our tornado hunter, then you're a hitman. I mean, how many other actors that can pull that off? Go ahead. I'm listening.
40 of them are sitting at the bus stop in Hollywood right now.
No way. I mean, he's got he's got charisma, charm. His line delivery is pretty on point. All right, Hitman. Did you watch that movie, by the way?
Hold on. Let's go. There we go. I'm bringing it back to you.
Ran the gamut, evenly divided between men and women, young and old, rich and poor.
This is Glenn Powell playing the guy from American Psycho.
Doesn't it? That's the dream.
In Hitman.
But a left-handed person doesn't shoot themselves with the right hand. A person with phobia for heights doesn't jump. A well-tied noose requires studying. Suicidal people want to leave this world quickly. They don't want to explain themselves. Neither do I.
Maybe surprise me.
Sounds lovely.
That was pretty bad.
Our podcast is so bad for me because I love these guys and I can watch them all the time. And then when we start analyzing all the stuff they do and how they deliver, it ruins it for me. So.
Okay, here we go. Keep going. Let's talk numbers because we left it off at Twister, 372, Hitman, total bomb. Well, actually, it's hard because
Twisters broke even. Twisters didn't make money. Twisters broke even.
Yeah,
okay,
but we can't really measure Hitman because it was limited before it went to Netflix.
I agree.
Devotion was the one that was this was his biggest post Maverick bomb with a budget of 90 and collected 21 million. Oof.
Yeah, and you don't have Running Man in front of you, but Running Man was another big bomb. 110 million, only made 70. So I mean,
that's bad.
So let's say Top Gun Maverick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's had 7 releases in film since Top Gun Maverick. 2 made money, not including Top Gun Maverick. 2. Just saying, data don't lie.
Data don't lie. But if you're going to take the law of averages, his average ROI post 2022 is still strong. I mean, say what you want about Maverick. I mean, he was in it, right? So,
yeah. So I have that data. So if you take Top Gun Maverick and his entire catalog of movies, his return is like 3.9 times budget, which we know 2.5 is break even. Anything above 2.5, you're making money. Now, if you take Maverick out, which he didn't get cast for the main role, Tom Cruise loved him, threw him in there as Hangman. He did great as Hangman. Great. But you take that out of the equation, 2.25 total. So he's not making money if you take Maverick out. And I think, honestly, you could have thrown 10 other actors in there and probably Maverick's going to be successful no matter what. Like, I don't think Glenn Powell contributed to the movie and he was
agreed. Yeah, I would agree with you 100%.
But I don't know that he would have caused Maverick to fail if he wasn't in that role.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
So you know what the data tells me? His high profitable sweet spot
is
mid-budget, 25 million supporting role. That's where he
as a supporting role. I see. That's where I think he's earned, not earned. Well, yeah, I think he's earned the enough. I think he's garnered enough, credibility here to be considered a leading man. Like, he's done it more than a couple times. But man, I mean, compare him to anybody else in his contemporaries that haven't played any Marvel or DC character.
That's nearly impossible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't.
Miles Teller. Like, I would say Miles Teller, but then he had a crap role in Fantastic Four. But Miles Teller would be his contemporary. Miles Teller is much better return, right?
I don't know. I got to look at the data. I mean, and I got to talk to my my assistant, my AI agentic assistant.
Right.
So here's another thing about Powell. This guy, he owns a dog and a pet monkey. Did you know this?
I knew he had a dog. Do you know what the dog's name is?
Brisket.
That's a cool name for a guy from Texas.
Absolutely. I was trying to find pictures of his monkey, but I couldn't. Let me search again.
So while you're searching that, the other thing that I thought was interesting, we were talking about like kind of his I can't think of the word I want to use, but the people who always kind of look out for him. So you got Denzel, who saved him from quitting when he was in The Debaters, right? And you got Tom Cruise, took him to flight school, convinced him to stay in Maverick. So the other piece is when he was trying out for movies, he was in Expendables 3.
Yes.
And he wasn't really sure what to do. He wasn't really sure. He was still having some questions about debating, about acting. Expendables 3 was very early in his career. And Sylvester Stallone pulled him aside and said, look, dude, you got this killer attitude. He called it the death wish, where he'll go out, he does some of his own stunts. He doesn't shy away from anything that they throw at him. And he said, that there's not many actors out there that have this. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be great. And the little pep talk from Sylvester Stallone in Expendables 3 kind of kept him on the path.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
He's had very timely, good advice from very credible legends. I mean, they're not just, right? They're not just regular actors. I mean, these guys are legends.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, Sly Stallone, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But what I was saying before, I think if you put him in this supporting role where he can be this, I don't know if smug is the right word, because smug comes off as a really negative connotation, because he's smug in a very charming way, like Hangman, right?
Yes.
But if you watch the movie with Sydney Sweeney, he's the surly, sarcastic, supporting person for Sydney Sweeney. Glenn Powell, John Glenn in Hidden Figures. He's the surly, charismatic, confident pilot who's like, this is the person, I want her in my corner. You know, then he does the same thing in Hangman. Twisters, we watched the clip. He's, you know, arrogant, cocky. Let's ride him. You ride him. You know, how do you handle the Twisters? You ride him. Like, I think if you give him, he's almost like Ryan Reynolds. You throw him in this one role, you let him be Glenn Powell. If you watch Chad Powers, Chad Powers has ups and downs and big swings, and it starts out really good. And it's like I blame the writers for that. They couldn't figure out how to end it. They just blew that whole thing up by the end. That's not Glenn Powell's fault, right? But he played that cocky, arrogant athlete. And I think that's just his niche. I think that's just where he needs to stay.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question then, because you're a Running Man hater, and to me, I also
it was okay, but
I thought it was okay also. But do you think
movies don't need to be remade?
Yes, I mean, yes, I would.
Right.
I mean, Richard Dawson, right? Like the original Running Man was like, how do you
Jesse Ventura?
Yes. So do you think the Running Man exposed him in any way? Like exposed Glenn Powell, like, hey, this guy was he was on his trajectory was here. We stick him in a project that has, yes, it's a remake, but you would think he would be able to carry the movie based on his name. But I thought the movie was okay. I think it was just okay for me. And I don't know if it's because the movie wasn't as interesting as the original or not, but did this expose Glenn Powell? That's my question.
I think Running Man has a lot of the same misses that He-Man, Masters of the Universe, had, right? I think people love it as a kid. We all watched Running Man with Schwarzenegger when we were young. You grew up on it. Like the fat guy who sang opera and the whole deal, right? Like you fell in love with certain parts of that movie. Like Total Recall with throwing Colin, what's his face in there. You don't need to, Colin Farrell. You don't need to go redo it. Like it's good. So I think part of it is the nostalgia of the original Running Man. Nobody wanted it redone. Then you got Glenn Powell on the screen way too long and way too much. And I think the dialogue was a little rough. The movie was a little rough. So, I look at it as, I don't think there's anybody you could have put in that role that would have made that movie successful.
So it's interesting though, right? Like if you're Glenn Powell and then, hindsight's 2020, right? But if you're Glenn Powell and somebody presented you that role, are you taking it? Like to me, I'm like, all right, I'm in, because Running Man, it's right. There's, Schwarzenegger did it. I'm like, I'm right up there with that guy. I'm doing it too. Like I would also have taken the project, but maybe he changes.
This is where we need to talk to him. We got to talk to Glenn. Did he take it for the money? He didn't take it for the art, right? He's not winning any awards.
No. Yeah, we need to talk to Glenn. Glenn, if you hear us, just comment on our podcast or on our, TikTok.
Glenn, I'll bring you a creamy coconut Dr. Pepper. I got one sitting here waiting for you.
Yeah. Buddy. So I would say my verdict is the Running Man was probably his first major strikeout. But it is
so crazy.
It's not proof. It's not proof that he can't carry a movie, is all I'm saying. So, but his next 2 or 3 theatrical leads, in my opinion, will be,
it's going to be the
more
test.
Telling. Yeah, because everybody has everybody has one of those throwaway movies.
Yeah, Clooney's had a bunch.
Yeah,
right. If you look at Clooney's list, he's had a bunch of bombs.
Yeah, but I think those next 2 or 3 will determine if he's a bankable star.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. So I don't think he's can you make the argument that he's a movie killer with his entire career body of work? Probably. But I think that prior to 2022, I just think the data is almost skewed because he wasn't the main character, not even close. Well, you argue that Hidden Figures he was, which, okay, he was probably top 3 or 4, right, main characters in that movie. And by the way, that movie I liked. That was a pretty good movie. That's the one with Kevin Costner, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was a good movie.
NASA does not see color. Love that scene. That's my favorite scene in the whole movie. But it's kind of like if you took Camila Mendes, right? And I know I talked about her on a bunch of episodes so far. Or you took James Purfoy and you said, look, you guys were in Masters of the Universe, therefore your whole career is going to suck, right? You got to give people the benefit of the doubt. You got to give them another shot. And to your point, Glenn Powell's had a bunch of successes. But I'm not blaming Camila Mendes because the writing and the cinematography and all the other stuff that went against Masters of the Universe from a data perspective that said this movie's going to fail before it even started. Mm-hmm. That's not her fault. So you give her more roles and you give her another shot and you go out and you see what she can do. James Purfoy, if you look him up, he's been in a ton of movies. So Masters of the Universe didn't fail because of him. Like, it had so many different things. Idris Elba, to me, is one of my favorite actors. I will watch anything he was in. I watched The Beast, which was an awful movie about lions in the desert getting stuck in a tree because he was in it. Loved it. So I'm still going to watch every movie that Glenn Powell's in because he's charismatic. He's funny. I like his sense of humor and I like what he does. But am I going to cast him to lead a movie that has a couple things going against it because I think he can carry the movie and make it successful? Probably not.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
He's got to be set up for success to deliver. He can't make a movie successful because he is who he is. I think Brad Pitt could do that. I think
it's a very short list. Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, DiCaprio.
Leonardo, Meryl Streep, right? But he's not there yet. He's not doing it.
No, and he's still young. I mean, I thought he was older than this, but he's only 37. So he's got a lot of runway left to prove that he's worthy of that conversation, that he's a bankable star. So maybe we revisit him in our 250th episode. By that time, we should have enough sample size to determine whether he's worth a damn or not. All right. So anyway,
so you want to watch Anyone But You, Sydney Sweeney?
Okay, let's see it.
This movie is very good. Like, if you're looking for something with Cam to do one night and just want to watch a good, like, rom-com kind of deal, it's worth watching.
Margaret thinks we're together.
That's great.
No. Margaret needs to think we're the right type of together. Not together, but like situationally together. Because if she thinks we're together, she's not going to break girl code. So we need to finesse our togetherness so that we're together, but there's an opening for our togetherness and she can just slide right in so that we can be together.
Are you on coke?
Oh, it's like coffee here. It's like meth. I'm guessing. No, I'm not. I worked at Goldman. Partner's wedding. You do what you do.
Jesus, dude. Who are you?
I'm a man trying to figure this out. Look at your room. It's so much bigger. You got a painting? Wow, that's so red. We have to kick it up a notch. Make it feel like we're in the Gaga stage.
What do you want to do? Take me in the hallway?
That is not Gaga. Actually, that could be construed as Gaga. Tonight's the rehearsal dinner, so we have to do something that makes it look like you're into me, but you're not into me. And I'm into you, but you can tell by my face that it's never going to mount.
Get it together, man.
You hit me so much.
Right? Powell being Powell. Supporting Sydney.
Yeah. I think he is a very bankable actor. If I'm like, he would be on my short list for rom-coms because I think he'll do that all day long.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was a good role for him. And you got young Sydney Sweeney in her breakout kind of opportunity where everybody in the world fell in love with her. So I think that didn't hurt.
Yeah, I think his but I don't know if I would just necessarily stay in that lane entire, if I'm him. I mean, I think I don't think he's got an abundance of range, but he's got range. Like, it's hard to do like a action drama like a Top Gun and then rom-com it up, 6 months later. I don't think you're thinking it's easy to do. I don't think it's that easy, dude.
I think there's a lot of people in Hollywood that could do that.
All right, name me 5 people, if there's so many, that can say, hey, you can play Hangman and you can play this guy and pull it off seamlessly and then make it believable. Go ahead.
Dude, without even thinking hard about it, I'm going to go Miles Teller can be in action and could be in those. Whiplash and then Rooster.
Miles Teller is not as
huge range.
Who?
Miles Teller, that's a huge range. And
I don't
he was
think
in that Anya Taylor-Joy movie that's on Netflix where he jumps across the gorge. Right? Action. Miles Teller, boom, number 1. Yeah, look it up. It's good.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, that's Miles Teller.
Huh. Okay. I forgot about it. I just all right, that was Miles Teller.
All right, so that's 1.
Are you sure? I'm going to look that up.
Oh, goodness.
I did watch the movie. Hold on. You're correct. Yeah, he pulled that off pretty good.
Yeah, it's like I do it for a living.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
All right, that's 1.
Okay. All right, that's 1. All right, I'll give you that one. Give me another one. I asked for 5. Give me 3. Because I know you're going to struggle with 5.
Tom Holland.
No way.
No, I don't think Tom Holland.
Dude, he's too,
Matt Damon. Boom. Matt Damon.
No way. No.
What?
Not even in his heyday.
Are you crazy?
He is not comedic.
The Martian was funny.
Dude, it was dry. Dude, he was like mechanical. His comedic attempts were mechanical. Matt Damon is not he's not a naturally
Charlize
funny
Theron.
guy.
Charlize Theron.
She's gonna play Hangman.
She could play a surly, sarcastic role and also play action and also play a dramatic role.
Well, I was talking about like a male lead, not a.
And I'm staying away from the big 5, right? I'm staying away from Leonardo.
Yes, you have to.
And all this.
Yeah.
Like I'm going with more of a secondary market here. Right?
Yes. Yeah, you name one. You name one person, and I'll give you that. Miles Teller, because he did The Gorge, and that was kind
Adam
of
Sandler.
Oh my God.
Punch Drunk Love.
Dude, Adam Sandler.
Uncut Gems.
Just picture Adam Sandler rescuing Tom Cruise and Rooster in a fighter jet. No effing way. You know what would get...
No. Rooster.
No.
Shoot him down.
No. Right? Like that. He would he would not make it through flight school.
Tom Hardy.
Okay, that's a good one. See, like you're thinking hard. That's 2.
Yeah, I got you, dude. You're putting me on the spot. Like we got eight listeners that are.
You just said there was there's like thousands of these actors that
if
you
I had
can
a
plug
list,
and play.
I'd be like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one.
Okay, but I mean Tom Hardy,
have a
yeah,
list in front of me.
Tom Hardy could do it. Action guy, rom-com guy, multifaceted actor.
I would say Ryan Reynolds, but I don't like Ryan Reynolds. Like I think Ryan Reynolds is a one-trick pony who's got to do the same thing over and over again. But I think he could pull off the pilot.
He can probably pull it off.
I got one. I got 2.
Okay, that's
Michael B. Jordan.
Nah, he's too serious for a rom-com.
Are you crazy?
No, I'm not, dude. He's way too serious to be rom-com. I mean, look at Creed when he was trying to be funny. He was just too serious.
Creed, he's badass. He could be a pilot, and he could be a rom-com, and he could be the whole shebang.
Nah, I think he. You know what? I think Michael B. overacts. Not all the time, but in times where he needs to just throttle that back just a little bit, I think he just overacts, and it's just like, damn, you didn't do that scene any favors. That's just that's why I don't see him as a rom-com guy. I don't even see him as
do it.
Yeah. I mean, I see him as an action guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's an action guy. Like, I think he could play, like, yeah, in the Gorge. Yeah, I could see that.
How about the guy who played Kick-Ass, who was in 28 Days Later or 28 Years Later, and he was in Bullet Train? Can't think of his name. He was Craven the hunter. He's a good.
He's not funny though.
He could be funny. He was funny in Bullet Train.
Was he in, like, what was his role in Bullet Train? Dude, Bullet Train was just a funny movie. I think you were laughing from the previous scene, and then he showed up, and you're like, ha ha ha. Okay, that was funny too.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. Aaron Taylor Johnson. That's the guy. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Dude, did you know Bad Bunny was Wolf in that movie?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I would put it in my top 15.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. He was Tangerine.
Yes, Tangerine. He was the brother.
Yes.
The brother.
Oh.
Huh? Nicholas.
What rom-com was this guy in?
Nicholas Galitzin. I don't know, man. I don't know every movie in Hollywood. I got to look some of this stuff up. Nicholas Galitzin. And then John Carter. Boom.
Good heavens. John Carter.
We beat this.
Well, that was interesting.
Nobody wants to listen to this.
But I'm saying, though, it's not as easy as you claimed it to be early on. I don't think you just plug and play any actor between the ages of 32 and 40. Here you go. This is your project for the next calendar year. This is what.
Dude, I'm going to go back to episode 2, maybe 3. You give me $1 million and you let me choose between 100 scripts. You go out to the script writers, you say, send me 100 scripts and $1 million, and you give me 3 days at the bus stop in Hollywood, and I will give you 10x return on your money.
Yeah, because you're going to shoot a horror flick, and that's it.
I can shoot whatever I want. I got $1 million, 100 scripts to choose from, and 3 days at the Hollywood bus stop
for $1 million. Okay,
and I will give you. You know what 10x return.
You know what your options are in terms of type films. It's going to be your horror flick, or it's going to be like a Breakfast Club shot in one room, or like a Reservoir Dogs. That's what you're going to shoot for $1 million.
You're naming some pretty successful movies right there.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. To make a movie for $1 million, your shooting locations have to be like less than 2, right?
Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, it could probably be. Yes, but I would agree with you. Like, there's a blueprint there, like Breakfast Club, Reservoir Dogs, and.
But you're telling me there's nobody that can do this, and I'm telling you, I got 3 days worth of people getting off the bus from Oklahoma and Mississippi and God knows where else.
Yes,
that I could put in there, and we will do fine. But I need a really good. So half of my $1 million, I got to go for like a cinematographer or something. I can't make it look like shit. It's got to look good. But
you would
pull it off.
You would budget $500,000 just for the cinematographer?
I got to get good directors of photography and cameraman, and I need a key grip with big hands so that when you fuck up, I can have them come over and just punch you.
It's all okay. Tropic Thunder. I was gonna say, but I'm saying for $1 million, it's all in the screenplay. Like, it's all the script. That's all it is.
Yeah,
and your actors just
good director of.
I think where you would struggle, honestly, is if you had to shoot a film that was not in the horror genre. I think that's where I think you might struggle. Horror flick, I think you have. No, but I guess my point is, if you cannot choose a horror genre script, what are you going to do for $1 million? Tough, right? I don't know what I would do. I would try to copy.
I have immortal longings in me to go make a movie.
Well, they shot your Obsession for $750, so yeah, I know it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done. And she was a nobody. She got turned down on a bunch of roles. Maybe I call Indy up, say Indy Navarette. She's way out of my price range right now, though. She's too hot. No,
Yeah.
She's a hot commodity. All right. So anybody wants to take us up on that? It's out there, guys. You're only going to lose $1 million. A lot of our listeners, $1 million is like nothing. You could throw that to me and we could figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, you borrow against your 401k.
Well, I'm not using my money.
No, I'm talking about them, the people that are listening.
I take 2 weeks vacation, $1 million, 3 days of it's going to be at the bus stop. So I got 11 days to shoot a movie before I have to get back to work.
Yeah. It's doable.
Yeah. Sounds like a success.
I think I'm going to watch this Anyone But You tonight. Because I didn't
real
see
good.
it.
Yeah. Grab cam, go sit down, grab some popcorn.
Yeah. Remember my proposed episode, The What Ifs? I read something about, I mean, I'm sure he got he got turned away for a number of roles, but there was one, and I can't find it now, where it was, I remember the rooster one, but there was another one where I was like, wow, I don't know if I could picture him in that role. I gotta find it. Let me look for it. But I think we're coming up on our, so Mendoza line. This I gotta hear from you.
I gotta go look. Where'd I put Chris Hemsworth? I'm thinking like a 1 Mendoza line. Let's look at the Mendoza line. I gotta do a bunch of work on the Mendoza line. The Mendoza line's been a little neglected. I'm giving him like a 1. F. Campbell, J-Lo, Hemsworth.
All right, say that list again.
So you got J-Lo, Nev Campbell, and Hemsworth as a 1. You got Jared Leto as a 5. You got Kristen Stewart as a 2. You got Ben and Gal Gadot as a 0. You got Channing Tatum -1.
I'm putting him at. You said you would put him at a 1.
Yeah, 1.
No way. There's no way I would put him at a with that the group of people that you just mentioned. No way. I'm giving him. You ready for this? Let me think about this.
Dude, think of their qualifications. Willingness to spend money, charismatic, could carry the role. You know, I forget what else. ROI. You know, you got like your 5 basic food groups. Like you got to figure out where he's going to fit into that.
I would give him at least a 3, maybe a 4. Only because, I mean, he's got. I don't want to do this based on potential, but I think when it's all said and done, he's going to be at least a 5-6. But based on, you know, his pre-2022 and post-2022, if you average the ROI, he's still a solid 3. He's better than Nev Campbell. Like, you know, we're just talking ROI, are we not? We're not talking about the charisma, you know, persona and all that stuff.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at his numbers. They're not. And the thing is, you could only really judge him from 2022 to current. I mean, his only big bomb, well, he's had 2 missteps. Would you call that a big bomb?
Which one? Yeah.
Call him Running Man.
Yeah. It's a bomb.
Okay, the other big bomb was your. Yeah, that was pretty. 90 million,
let's go
21
with a 3.
million.
We'll go with a 3. I'll give it a 3.
Yeah, because look at like the Hitman did. I mean, shit, can't we use that? Twisters
did good. Well on Netflix. Hitman did really well.
And Anyone But You did almost 9x return. Again, this is just 2022 and as a leading man.
All right, we'll go with a 3.
Probably a 4. Probably we're giving. Yeah,
I can't go that high.
You just don't. There's something you have against him. Maybe
Jared Leto is an Oscar winner.
Yeah, but we're not talking about awards here. We're talking about ROI. Like Jared Leto, we could have somebody here that has, you know, 8 Oscars, but if they don't make money and they're artsy, who cares?
Yeah.
Right.
All right. We'll go. I'm gonna acquiesce to a 3.
All right. There you go. I
can't
makes me feel better. Yeah, I'm sure Glenn would appreciate that. Him and his dog and his monkey.
Glenn would be insulted by this entire conversation.
I think he's a down to earth guy. He'd probably say, "Hey, I mean, I'm just trying to understand. Like, show me the data." And we'll say, "Here's the data, Glenn. Tell me we're wrong. Like, tell us we're wrong."
And then he's gonna whine. He's gonna say, "I'm gonna drop out of Hollywood. I'm never gonna do this again." Then we got to have like Brad Pitt call him and tell him how great he is. He seems like a little bit of a prima donna to me. It's thrilling.
Okay, it's funny you say that. It's funny that you say that just now, because this guy in 2024 said, "No, I want nothing to do with your People magazine sexiest man alive." You tell me he's a prima donna. A prima donna would have been like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm going to bring my 8 beauticians with me to make sure I'm all, Ken dolled up." But no, he was like, "Dude, I'm not doing that."
Maybe he's insecure. Maybe he's like, "Man, you put me on the cover, then I got to live up to that." Maybe he's just insecure. It's insecurities. That's why he's got everybody having around him telling how great he is.
Insecure. I mean, did you watch him in Maverick? I mean, he was like volleyballing, all like flexing.
Yeah, he's acting. I don't think maybe he's a much better actor than I think.
Dude, all I'm saying is I don't think he's a prima donna type. I think he's a down to earth. Look, he left Hollywood and he trash talk Hollywood in the nicest way to saying it's basically the Matrix. It's all fake. That's why I had to move back to Austin. And what actor do you know gets his family members cameos in the movies that you do? Like, he gets his sister, his mom, I think they've been in every movie he's done, and they played this quick cameo. That a prima? No, that's a family dude. Cool. Yeah. See, I'm sticking up for my boy Glenn. Glenn should come here and be like, "Yo, Mark, that's my bro right there."
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
You got your crap. You're good. All right. So you want to wrap it up, or you want to go with a sleeper hit? What do you want to do next?
I unfortunately I don't have a sleeper hit because I had a list. I made a really good list. I can't find a list because you know why? I decided instead of writing it down, I should just put it in a Word doc or a Google Doc. But I wrote it down and I can't find that damn notebook. But I had some pretty good ones. I'll find it for our next episode.
I have a good one, so I'll save it.
All right.
And we'll do it because I need another Mark casting call. Also, I need a casting video.
Yeah, I do have a sleeper pick for next week.
No, Cam has a sleeper pick. She just came over and handed it off to you.
Cam definitely just handed me the sleeper pick list.
Thanks, Cam. Appreciate it.
She's listening, I'm sure. All right, so we'll get into some of the sleeper picks. But you know what? Can we do something kind of break the mold of your like horror genre picks? Is that what you're going to do?
For you or for me?
No, just in general, because I think you're cherry picking here.
How am I cherry picking? I go with what I like, and I go with what I think is going to do well.
All right, fine. You're right. I shouldn't restrict you or filter.
And I can't pick like Doomsday as a sleeper pick, right? I mean, if you throw a movie out there that's got a $200 million budget, I don't know if that counts as a sleeper.
It does not. A sleeper pick is like almost zero marketing, right? And Clayface was a good one. I think that was on my list. Well, not my list, Cam's list.
Yeah, it was a good one, right?
Yeah, that was. I hope that does well because it's different and it's not like, every other trailer where you got some 1970 remix song and then you got the typical.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's hold so I can pull the trailers and then we can go from there.
Yeah. And next week I'll have I'll probably have another clip of one of my audition tapes. Because, we talk about range all the time and we talk about other people, but I have to give credit where credit is due. Right. And that's right here. My acting chops on full display.
I don't disagree with you. I think it's well done. So let me throw a couple plugs out and then we'll wrap it up.
All right.
So we got Glenn Powell as a 3. I want to throw another plug out to my buddy Randon. I'm still wearing his hat for this week. NYPD Harbor Patrol, boys doing their job up in New York. Shout out to the NYPD and my boy Randon. Dr. Pepper, creamy coconut. Just throw a plug out for that. It's my new favorite.
Creamy coconut.
Yeah, you never had creamy coconut?
I mean, I've had coconut.
It's one of those limited.
It's got like an Islander vibe to it.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably really good for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really worry about those things.
I know.
I'm gonna live forever.
Right.
All right. And I think that's all we got, right? Got anything else?
No, but just a pop quiz. So you know how I told you how Glenn Powell turned down the Sexiest Man Alive 2024? Do you know who actually won it?
24?
Yeah.
Paul Rudd.
John Krasinski.
Oh. From one movie killer to another.
Yeah. Man, they're just reaching.
I got to get the Krasinski episode up. Did I put that up already? I think I did.
I thought you did.
I think I did too. Oh, the other thing I want to shout out is our TikTok video that we put up for
Huge.
Elliot Page, Odyssey.
Broke the internet.
Let's see what's going on. It's going up daily. I don't know who's watching it. I don't know who's listening to it, but man, you guys are crushing it.
Yeah.
Within a week, it went. Hold on. I don't want to play it. 16,000 views in the week. Share it out. Take a look. Listen up. Movie Killers Podcast on TikTok. We still need more followers. So if you guys could get us some followers out there, we would truly appreciate it. And I still got to get to 1,000 so we can broadcast.
What's the number here? Like we need
800. We're about 800.
All right. You know what? We're gonna get that by the end of this month. Let's shoot for that.
Okay.
I think that's realistic, right? You know, less than 200. Yeah.
200. Do your job, man. Do your job.
I'm going to do my job this month. We're going to make it really saucy.
I'm going to make a couple videos.
Yeah.
Get them out there.
Yep.
And we'll see what we can do.
All right. I guess that's
ready.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. We're going to spin it out with a little glitch in the vortex. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you guys joining us on a Thursday night, 9 p.m. We're wrapping up. Glenn Powell, movie killer, in my opinion. And then we will give him a 3 on the Big Mendoza line. And go follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, all your favorite streaming platforms. And we appreciate the time you spend with us in this. Got anything to add?
No, we're good. We'll see you next week.
All right, good night, everybody.
See you, everyone.